10 seconds.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore, your morning dose of creative conversation and coffee with your host, Brian K. Morris, independent publisher, freelance hybrid author, award-winning playwright, Facebook famous YouTuber, and former mortician's assistant. Get ready to start your day off right.
And good morning, everyone. How the heck are you? Welcome to another work week. Oh, dear Lord. Anyway, this is the July 5th, 2021 edition of Nevermind the Furthermore. And whether you're watching us live or on the rerun, we appreciate you so much. Please, if you enjoy any part of the show, if you're on Facebook, please give us a like, and please like the page you're watching it on, just as a thank you to your host. Also, if you're watching us on YouTube, which we think you should, we'd love it if you'd give us a subscribe, and also give us a thumbs up while you're at it, because it helps us with the deadly algorithms. All right, we all know about the deadly algorithms. Anyway, we want to thank everybody for being here. We want to thank, as always, our ongoing sponsor. We love you, Jeffrey. Jeffrey Hayes, the fantastic artist who does many, many wonderful things through Plasma Fire Graphics, such as my latest book, Snow Ambition, number 4 in the Snow Short series. Please check it out. It's available right now on Amazon for 99 cents, and it's worth so much more than that. It will enrich your life, especially if you like quick read crime fiction. Anyway, we want to thank Plasma Fire Graphics. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. Do you need a wraparound book cover for your novel? Do you need a comic book cover that's going to amaze people? Do you need some promotional graphics? And do you need a nifty trailer like you just saw? Then you want to get a hold of Jeff Hayes at Plasma Fire Graphics. Also check out their Facebook page, as well as plasmafiregraphics.com, which is where you can contact them. And it's all so very affordable. Even a tightwad like me can enjoy it. Anyway, check them out. It's plasmafiregraphics.com when the look of your book matters to you. Excuse me. We also want to thank the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Please check out this page on Facebook and give it a like if you would. Many of our programs are now being broadcast on there if you refuse to leave the confines of Facebook. But check them out. We've got you covered 7 days a week, all kinds of great entertainment and information. We talk about everything from whatever's on your mind to whatever's going out into space. Alcoholic drinks only for 18 above, though, mind you. We are responsible. And also cigars and how to build your writing career rapidly. All kinds of great stuff. And even in the morning, Michaela J starts your day off with a good kick in the ass to get you out of bed and get you to your creative best self. Anyway, please check out these shows. Please take a screen capture of this. Also, don't forget July 14th, Wednesday night, we are premiering a brand new show, The Truth Mongers, with Ted Davies and Glenn B. Fleming, where they talk about conspiracy theories and all of that ilk. You'll love it. Anyway, please check out our shows 7 days a week. They're awesome. Anyway, we also want to thank our Patreon subscribers. Patreon is a monthly subscription service where you can support your favorite creators directly. And I have my page. And for even $1 a month, you get mentioned on my shows. You get to look at my exclusive weekly blog. And for $5 a month, you can look at my current works in progress, including The Terrors, which should hopefully be out later this year. But check us out. If you want to see what we can give you in return for your direct support, go to www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris and let the wonderment begin. Anyway, hope you all had a great 4th of July. One thing I was noticing on Facebook last night was a number of people, at least in my area, both here and on nextdoor.com, complaining about the fireworks. We did go out, Cookie and I did go out Saturday and Sunday to check out fireworks, and Saturday wasn't too bad. But last night, dear God, this place, you would have thought we were under attack. We went down to West Lafayette to watch the official Lafayette fireworks show. Beautiful display. Well done, City of Lafayette. And then we're driving around town, and there's some pretty impressive artillery going off, but it's all over town. And I got online and saw my friends from Danville and various other communities were complaining about the noise. And I found out also that if you live in Illinois and you cross state lines to buy your fireworks, you could be in a lot of trouble. There's like a $2,500 fine, or potentially a $2,500 fine and a potential year in jail if you do so, which has never stopped Illinois people for as long as I've lived. But anyway, please, hopefully, we will see a cessation in arm fire in the next few days. And I feel really bad for people who own pets. I'm not a pet owner myself, but I feel sorry for the people who own dogs, especially. Cats don't seem to care, but dogs are like, because they've got incredibly more sensitive hearing than you and I, especially husbands. But something to think about. And also, there were a number of veterans that some of them, it triggers their PTSD, and that's not cool either. So hopefully, I keep hoping we will, in Indiana, do something to limit the amount of fireworks that can be sold here, if not eliminate it entirely, which I know you can't eliminate it. Some people get a hold of it anyway. It's like guns. But, we were having, I was hearing things at 2:30 in the morning, which is beyond the local limits for fireworks explosions. And I think we are in Indiana. We still can have fireworks going off for another week and a half. It's not as bad as when we first moved in here, but it's not fun. Anyway, hope your 4th of July was good. Hope you got to spend it with people that you love and that love you. And you ate some good food, we did, and got to see some cool people, we did, and just had a good time. Chilled a little. And chilling is just what you need, because the next 3 days here in Indiana, or my part of Indiana, we're looking at low 90s temperatures. That's not even considering the heat index. But fortunately, it is going to get a lot nicer by Thursday. And on Friday, starting at noon, will be the Imaginarium. I'm really excited by this. If you want to find out what the Imaginarium is about, it is a book show. Many amazing authors will be there. Plus, if you're looking to grow your writing business, it's a great place to go. You can pick up so much information. Bring a couple of notepads. You will fill them before the end of the weekend. Now, if you go to enter the Imaginarium, you will see a schedule of events that are going on. You will also see some virtual stuff going on, and I will be a part of 2 events this week. Hopefully by Wednesday, I'll get a schedule together, and I can tell you a little bit about it, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Plus, you'll get to see wonderful people like Cookie will be there. Also, Brian Rodman will be there, as well as Molly Daniels, Kathy Jackson, Matthew the Mad Celt Jackson, and other wonderful people. Looking forward to seeing a whole bunch of my friends down there, and we hope to see you down there. Louisville is right next door to wherever you're living. I don't care where you're watching us. It is. I can't read a map. So please check us out, and also check out the online events that will be going on during the Imaginarium. That's this weekend, Friday at noon, and ending sometime around 5-ish on Sunday afternoon. And just go to entertheimaginarium.com for full details. You can still buy tickets. And please come and check us out, okay? And speaking of checking things out, let's check out what y'all are saying to me that I'm probably totally ignoring. And I'm already 11 minutes behind. And Joe Dog McKeel has arrived, sir. Thank you very much. Appreciate you so much. And looking forward to Wednesday. I think that's when it's coming in. I'm so excited. We will. Now, sometimes things get here a day early. So if it gets here early, Joe Dog, we're going to open it here. We've got a little surprise coming in. If not, we will open it during Comic Book Spectrum this Thursday at 7 p.m. I'm sure the guys will let me do it. They'll forgive me. And also, want to remind you that tomorrow night on Clever Title Pending, we're going to have a great comic book creator, Mike Jimmy Lorsha de Bruin. We haven't had him on the show yet, but he's a good guy. And he's got a book right now funding on Kickstarter called Life on Korra #4. So we'll have him on. And so I expect your best questions, people. And everyone's saying, hello, Carl Witzman. Hello to you, my friend. And Joe Dog, I'm so happy for Brian. Thank you, man. And thank you for everything, for your part in making this happen, man. I'm excited. I really am. I mean, I'm part of, I've won an award for being a playwright, the mini Katie. And also, I'm part of Pulp Reality, so I've won a literary award, but now, well, you'll find out later this week. And what happened? I missed a meeting, I think. Carl, no, you were there. You were there Friday night. And Teresa Dunn, good morning, Brian. I hope you survived the crashes and bangs this weekend. I could always use a good banging. Anyway, shut up, Christian. Everyone have a great work week. Teresa Dunn, good morning to you, darling. Poetry Expressions 1 and 2. Check them out on Amazon right now. And all will be revealed soon. Yes, sir, it will. And secrets. And it's big. I will let Brian reveal it. You will all find out either Wednesday or Thursday. So please stay tuned to Nevermind the Furthermore on Wednesday. And if that doesn't happen, then definitely for sure on Thursday night for Comic Book Spectrum. So it's exciting, and sometimes it's quality, not quantity. That's true. That is true. Some people think that a lot of anything is the best thing. There was a book I read, Joe Dog, and if you can find a copy of mine somewhere in one of the boxes downstairs, but I read this this was about 40 years ago. And I feel a need to pull it back out again, Shub Christian. And it's a book called Human Scale by Kirkpatrick Sale, which is pretty rhyming there. But anyway, the thrust of the book that bigger is not always better. For instance, when they built the Aswan Dam, there was some flooding in the lower plains that they wanted to stop because some people were getting some crops destroyed that way. And so they built the dam and they kept the water from coming down there. What happened, though, was the water that came down provided nutrients for the rest of the ground. So, yeah, some people did lose some crops. But then when they put up the dam, everyone lost their crops and it turned into a desert down there. So, and plus, like I think you and I have discussed before, that there's a lot of storms in Florida where the astronauts were launching from Cape Canaveral and Cape Kennedy. And so they built this mile tall, I think this even predated the Apollo missions, if I recall, but they built this 3-sided building that could, it was slow, but it could drive out and surround a spaceship. And so the workers could work on the spaceship and not have to worry about the storms hitting them. Well, the problem was this thing was so big that it developed its own weather system inside the structure, and it wound up raining virtually all the time. So they had to redo that. Anyway, yeah, it is. And Joe Dog McKeel, who is the host of Stupid O'Clock every Thursday at 9 and 11 o'clock on Saturday nights, all times Eastern, here on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. And lesson for today: if a friend is helping you move stuff and you don't think they are helping, let them let it go. You find out they were carrying a lot more than you thought. Same goes for real life. It's true. It is true. And we are followed by one of the other members of Stupid O'Clock, the one, the only, the wonderful, amazing Skunk Rocker. Morning, everyone. Rock over London, rock on Chicago. Today's weird random factoid is brought to you by Stupid O'Clock. Thursday nights at 9, Saturday nights at 11. And also stay tuned for Dan Hollifield's show, Last Man Standing. Will you be the last man standing or the last woman standing? Or will you be sitting? Only you have to tune in and find out. Anyway, the chainsaw from the game Doom was an actual Eager Beaver chainsaw. Tom Hall's girlfriend let the team at ID Software borrow it for the graphics because it leaked oil. They kept it in a big plastic bowl. And Tom still has the chainsaw to this day. Romero likes to take pictures with it for Instagram. And I'm with Carl Witzman. I never knew that, Skunk. That is awesome. Thank you for that factoid, my friend. Thank you so much. And good morning to the charming, delightful, and beautiful Willow Skyler. Mwah. Check out Willow's Pillow Tales every week on the Hanging with Web Show Network. And thank you for all you do for the community, Willow. We cannot thank you enough. Thank you for your ongoing promotion of the show. And thank you to Garrett for letting her do it. Anyway, thank you, Willow. Mwah. We love you, darling. And if show has not started, refresh. Yeah, definitely. Because YouTube is funny that way. And Donna Carly, mwah, good morning, darling. How are you? Hope you and Carl had a great 4th of July. And my Peppermint Princess, hello, Willow. Hi, everyone. And they're saying hello to each other. And Skunk Rocker tells me I was able to like on at least 3 platforms today because I didn't have to go to work. That's right, Brian. You're getting 100% Mythitis today. All right, get out your hazmat gear. Oh man, I am ready. Get the radiation scrub on the line. Anyway, Skunk, we're glad to have you, dude. I hope you have a super day lined up. I really do. Everyone sends Skunk some love, okay? I don't, because Skunk deserves it, and we love him. And Jeffrey Hayes, we were just talking about you a few minutes ago. Good morning, Nevermorians. Hope you had a great and safe 4th. And PlasmaFireGraphics.com. Check out what Jeffrey does. He is amazing. I love his work. I love him. He is a wonderful person. And timeout is a beautiful thing, ain't it, Skunk? And hello, Steph Wilson. How are you? Good to see you. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. Good to see you here, Steph. Thanks for stopping by. And oh, hell no, says the Skunk Rocker. It means I gotta go do double work tomorrow. There's Skunk looking for that dark cloud behind every silver lining. I know, I got one like you at home, Skunk. The only difference is you don't bring me coffee. But anyway, for the Desk of a Small Press Publisher, I'm watching the show you had Saturday night with Kara and Nicole. It is fantastic. You both did a super, super job. And good morning, all. Morning, Brian. What was your thought of the show as you watched it on replay? I'm still watching it. We had a busy day. Plus, I had an editing job I had to finish up over the weekend. Yes, Brian does edit for pay. No, Brian doesn't. It is not among Brian's favorite things to do, Doc Saga. But I'm going to get that one done, I promise. But yeah, I had editing work to do and also my own writing. So anyway, but so far so good. I'm about a third of the way through it, and you guys had a fantastic talk. I'm really enjoying it, and everyone ought to go check it out. From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher. And you know what? Joe Dog McKeel on his Stupid Clock channel and from the Desk of a Small Press Publisher should be over 100 subscribers on YouTube. If you have not done so already, please go to YouTube and give them some love if you would. I would appreciate it. I know they would. Let's get them over 100, okay? Oh, and by the way, one thing I did do this weekend, Cookie got this for me. We went to Ollie's, and as you know, the circulation in the office here is not wonderful. Listen to this. Oh my God. Christian has vibrators that don't make that much, that makes more noise than that. But anyway, but no, Cookie found this and it's rechargeable. I can charge it off the USB cable and it is really, really quiet as you notice. And well, here, let's crank this up. Oh, that was the wrong way. Anyway, yeah, I don't know how to work this thing yet. But anyway, listen to it. You probably could barely hear it. But it's putting out a lot of windage here, and I don't need it really cold in here. I just want some air circulating on my face. It helps keep me cooler in here. But anyway, we solved that problem in case anyone gave about it. Anyway, the Scoutcracker says, fireworks kept making my windows sound weird in my room. I thought someone was throwing rocks at my windows. Yeah, we were when we were downtown for the fireworks display, there were some things, they sound like freaking mortar fire. I mean, I had my arm resting on the driver's side window and I could feel the sound concussion on it. And man, some of that stuff is scary. And it's like, thank God that stuff is a few hundred feet up in the air. Can you imagine if it went off at ground level? I mean, it would shatter windows. And someone that shatters my heart, but in a good way, is Remillion. Good morning, sweetheart. Morning, Nevermorians. Darling, mwah. Please check out her her Patreon account. She does art. She's an amazing creative force. I love you, Anna. Love you. And cats care, too, on those poor veterans. Yeah, I feel so bad, Carl. I seriously do. Because, dogs can at least be comforted. But the veterans are going to have a harder time of it. And, of course, I am not a veteran of the armed services. I have a story, of course, when I had my opportunity was Vietnam. I still don't know why we were there. But I wasn't going to support that war. Found out my mother wasn't either. I didn't find out till after the draft ended in the 70s that my mother had been saving money for a train ticket to Canada. She was going to put me on a train and make me become an official draft dodger. But it just so happened that the military draft ended 1 month after my 18th birthday. So that's probably why I've never won the lottery. Anyway, but yeah, cats, I know it's particularly hard on dogs because of their hearing. But how can the vets be comforted as much? Whereas we can wrap our arms around our dogs and tell them it's okay, but not all these guys and gals have the ability to be comforted. So, that's the one reason I don't really look forward to 4th of July. I love the fireworks. I love the cookouts and the other folderol that goes with it, but that I could live without it. But anyway, Michaela Jade, someone I can't live without. Hey there, guys and gals. Mwah, Michaela. Good to see you, hun. And please check out Michaela Jade's Tidbits and Scribbles every Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, because she's awesome. And there's the legend of Traveling TARDIS falling on his knees and bowing in abject worship to Michaela. And from the Deso Small Press Publisher, Morning Skunk Rocker, here's something I didn't realize until this weekend. NBA Hang Time was a direct sequel to NBA Tournament Edition. I thought it was NBA Showdown, NBA on NBC, but that came later. I haven't played video games in years, but I got to tell you, Joe and Skunk, I love this. I love this trivia. I used to play a lot of the first-person shooters. Anyway, there weren't any fireworks in my city for Canada Day, but the statue of Queen Victoria had lost her head. Well, that was her doing her Marie Antoinette imitation. No, Willow, I thank you for the information you've been sending me about the events in Canada on Canada Day. For those of you who don't know, and Willow, I know I'm going to get this wrong, but apparently a mass grave was found near a Catholic school, and this led to a re-examination of the way that Indigenous natives have been treated, and not just by Canada. We've got more than our share of things we need to apologize for. But the Catholic Church, even up till the mid-90s, was doing basically all they could to, I don't know the right term for it, but it's basically anglicize the native culture and to almost eradicate their culture and imprint our own upon it. And this resulted in a series of protests across Canada, very similar to the Black Lives Matter protests here in America. And during the protests, just like here in America, there was quite a bit of vandalism that went on. But it's good to revisit that stuff, Willow. And thank you for bringing me up to speed on it. I still have some more research to do on it, but that is. I was totally unaware of that stuff. And, and it's funny. I was reading an article. One of the articles I read about it was you open up a conversation with a dozen people. There's always going to be some people who will say, well, I'm part Native American too. I am as well. I don't know what tribe because my family history chronicling is sketchy at best, as were many members of my family, but myself included. But I do know that my maternal grandfather was part Indian. Because that was a dirty joke he used to tell my grandmother. But anyway, but yeah, it's interesting. And Willow, I understand your passion about this. I really do. And I feel for you. I really do. And there she is, Cindy Cap. Good morning. Happy cleaning up the debris day. I'm listening and cooking. Cindy, it's good to have you here. It's always CKOEPP.com on the interwebs. Please check out her amazing work. Check out her books on Amazon, especially her new one, Animal Eye, a great gamelit book that is also being turned into a comic book with a script by the one, the only Cindy. And I've read it. It looks wonderful. Also, she has a Patreon page under CKOEPP. And check it out. Check her out. She does a lot of stuff in there. And how did that scene in Dutch go? Asked the skunk wrecker. Fireworks are illegal in Illinois. Not in Tennessee. They're not. Yeah. Yeah, and there's a place really close to Lambert's in Missouri, in Sikeston, Missouri, but it's like right if you go straight south on I-57, right across be the Tennessee line. Kentucky, no, Tennessee, wherever it is. Anyway, you cross the line there, and you cross the state line, and there is like this place. It looks like every supermarket in the world pushed together, and it's all most of it is fireworks. It is a literal superstore of fireworks, and we're not talking about handheld sparklers. No, we're talking about stuff you could probably set off inside a car and destroy it. It's evil. And they do sell a lot of the stuff that you do need a license for. So skunk, I hear you. And I think that's the quote. Not sure. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. I seem to recall that movie, but I couldn't tell you where it was from though. Anyway, let's see. Oh, comment dump, keep them coming. And from the desk of a small press publisher, I thought it was amazing at the time that Midway picked up the NBA on NBC license for that game. Why is that? Do you think it was out of their bounds? Do you think they maybe, were a little low, not as high up the food chain as, you would think they would be? And your schedule should be in the Hoppin platform. That is where mine was. I didn't realize that you could put your schedule in there. I learned I call this the learning place, and mostly it's for me. Yeah, that's true. I will check that out. Thank you, darling. I love you. Hope you had a great weekend, sweetie. And my knowledge of the Midway NBA game says the Skunk Rocker begins and ends with NBA Jam. All right. And Facebook is being weirdness. Good morning, sweetheart. Good morning, Anna Maria Salvador. Wow, always a pleasure and a delight and an honor to have you here, sweetie. And check out her Patreon her Patreon account under Renmelian. She's a darling lady, very creative, and is coming up with stuff. She is amazing. One of the sweetest souls I know. Anyway, Facebook is being a total snow, if you know what I mean. And the more they do, the more I like YouTube. And yeah, I know YouTube has its quirks, shall we call them, charitably. But on the other hand, I'm seeing more and more people fall prey to what happened to Joe Dog McKeel, where Facebook is going through not just your public posts, but your private ones as well. So, like I had a friend, and I don't need to name any names, but she basically said she was going to put a boot up somebody's butt. And she said in jest, but Facebook put her in jail for doing that. And I keep seeing more and more people saying, well, I posted Facebook just let me know I posted something 6 months ago, and they're dinging me for it. And I've got a couple of those too. And in my case, it was like, Facebook says, well, we saw that you had violated our standards with this one post, but we took it down for you, so you don't have to worry about it anymore. We're just warning you. And I'm like, how am I to know what I am and am not to say on Facebook? Because, I keep saying hosts and guests. We are guests here on the platform. But I want to know what I did so I don't do it again. All right. And Facebook has taken that away. And now that they're going through private messages, even, I think that's insidious. I am waiting for a class action lawsuit on that regard. And good morning, Nevermorians, sending hugs and kisses and want to you too. And ironically enough, says from the SO Small Press publisher Skunk Rocker, that comment is 100% historically, and he's laughing at us. And my best is my worst, Brian. You don't want me to be there. My questions would be like, why do you have a furry avatar if you're not a furry? I'm not furry, but I'm fuzzy in certain places. But you really have to get to know me before I let you. Anyway, Kathy Jackson, thank God you're here. Mwah. Love you, Kathy. Good morning and happy Monday. Hope everyone is well and has a great day. Remember, this weekend is the Imaginarium Convention in Louisville, Kentucky, and I can't wait to see everyone there. Kathy, Brian Robin and I are planning on probably dinner on Friday night after the show, FYI. And Molly Daniels will probably be with us, so we'll let you know more as soon as actually Brian is on the search for food places near where we're going to be, because I told him I'm not driving around Louisville. I don't know my way around. So anyway, Brian Primison, good to see you, sir. Happy Monday to you, sir. Good morning, Nevermorians. How are you? I'm doing well. Yes, that's the way to do it. Check out the latest episode of the podcast, Talking Star Trek Movies, number 105 on Anchor FM. Check that address out. And Romelia and Anna Maria is switching to YouTube. I don't think Facebook is showing Brian comments. It doesn't show me on all platforms. Anna Maria, could you tell me which platform you were commenting on? I know that the Rising Tide publication page has it. Also, and Kathy Jackson's books. People have been sharing it, and thank you. But somehow Facebook is not letting me see Kathy's comments on there, even though I'm an admin on there. So, which is why I can put it on there. So. It's a mystery. It's a freaking mystery. We call the Scooby Gang. And good morning to Molly Daniels. Mwah, looking forward to seeing you at Imaginarium this coming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's going to be a good time. And speaking of good times, check out the channel, Nerd Culture Channel, for more nerdy content. You got to get it. And also check out his latest video, Ryan's latest video with footage from a special premiere of Star Wars, The Broken Wills. They're on YouTube. Check out Ryan Primison's stuff there. It is geeky. It is wonderful. It is good. And Thursdays at 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. Honestly, I have a show. That's the name of it. Meet the guests and learn what makes them so awesome, and learn what makes Teresa Dunn so awesome. She had a pair of really good shows last week, so please check it out. And Scott Garker goes, I got to step away for a second and get a drink. The one bad thing about not watching the show in my van is the drinks are in the kitchen. Yeah, but at least you don't have to wear pants where you are. That's a good thing. And also, Ryan Permison says, check out our friend's Star Wars fan film that everyone's talking about, The Broken Wills. You could talk about it too. And also, Ryan is looking for summer reading. So please send him direct messages with your links to your paperback books. He likes the physical stuff. So please check it out. And please check it out and send, especially you authors, send him your books. He's checking out my work, also Amy Hales, Kathy Jackson, and Molly Daniels. Send him links to your Amazon stuff, okay? And Romelian, grew up near Cape Canaveral. That's exciting. I imagine you've probably watched a number of the launches, which I still thrill to. I really do. Molly Daniels on YouTube says, back from a successful In Conjunction and now ready to tackle Imaginarium, except I seem to have been left off the floor plan. Have fired off a PM to see what happened. Holy cats. Yeah, I better check. This week is going to be me checking up and making sure I'm up to speed on everything. And the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, we know who this is, Nicholas Tockert. It's good to see you, my friend. Good morning, Nevermorians. By popular demand, a custom second chance crowdfunding for Luke Stone's Hybrids, the Sons of God's RPG Quick Play, is launching today on Kickstarter. It came to Luke's attention that gaming experience that game designer Nick Tockert made possible is still gaining interest by folks seeking a second chance to get in on the ground floor. So please check this out. And I see Media Tenor and Meta Tenor GIF and all. Is that on Indiegogo or where? We'll look for that because I'm getting one from Luke already, but I want to see what I can do to support you. And Remelian from YouTube, it says, and good morning, everyone. Morning, sweetheart. Facebook isn't cooperating today. I don't think it's showing you comments. I'm seeing some from YouTube, but Kathy Jackson's books is it won't let me link up there for some reason. But then again, it was let me link up on my profile page, but wasn't sending the comments over. So which is why I've stopped doing it on my page. So anyway, Ryan Permison continues. I bought some cool shirts from Plasma Fire Graphics, including the Shadow and Captain Hawkland Adventures. Great designs, and bought tons of comics featuring the Shadow. Yeah, he went back. He went deep on that one. That was good to see. You're in for some superbery. And those were, and most of the ones you got were also written by a guy named Denny O'Neil, who we had a little tribute to. I had a little tribute to on last week's Comic Book Spectrum, one of the most influential writers and editors in comics in modern history. Great person too. Anyway, love buying all these back issues and learning more about comic book history. Looking forward to reading more. I ought to send you a list of books you should probably keep an eye out for. A lot of them are out of print, like the Jim Steranko History of Comics. It's 2 volumes of that. Wish to God he'd do a third. Also, the comic, let's see, Men of Mystery by Gerard Jones is a great one. Sometimes they pop up on the secondary market. One called All in Color for a Dime, edited by Don Thompson, and I can't remember the sequel to it, but those were very good essays on people growing up in the golden age of comics in the 40s and talking about the comics that got them excited. So anyway, speaking of getting me excited, there's Sarah. Mwah, darling, how are you, Sarah? Hope you're having a fine morning. And Remelian helped my ex-husband move. He says, Dad, all weekend, made homemade black beans and nachos last night and played cards. That sounds cool. Well, I edited something. I don't know what downtime is anymore. Watch some YouTube with my good friend Jody McPhee and my other good friend Karen Nicole. And I understand I cost him 5G because I didn't show up. And it's funny because I should have, because I didn't, because I got home in time. I could have caught the last hour of the show, but I know that you're pretty good about killing the show after 2 hours. And so that was on me, man. That was on me. But anyway, that sounds like a good time, Anna Maria. That sounds lovely. I love the fact that you got a great family. You really do. And Scott Crocker says, yeah, it's a good factoid. My dad used to have the same model of chainsaw, but he threw it away. Why? Admittedly, it was because it was broken and he got a new Husqvarna. But still, yeah, that's history, dude. That's history. And Demelian, Brian is just back. Brian is just backed up. Takes him a bit to get all the comics. Just need to be patient. And double the work is double the pleasure. Take that as you will. Ooh, yeah. And some things are worth the extra push, if you know what I mean. Am I wrong? Yeah, that's right, honey. Double your pleasure, double your fun. Anyway, up. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Mwah. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh, delicious, honey. I meant her. Anyway, yeah, it depends on if you like the work, if you know what I mean, Sarah, and I know you do. And Facebook didn't have any sound. Well, that's Facebook. It's not me. And I'm sorry, Molly. And if she'd ever email off that stuff she said she was a skunk rocker, okay. And it's because it was broken, got a new husband. But still, if she'd ever mail that stuff, she said she would. Okay. And Stupid is at 97 right now. Go to Stupid O'Clock, please, folks. Take a moment. Go to Stupid O'Clock on YouTube. And let's get Joe at least 4 more people, so he's over 100. And Jody McPhee, also from the Death of a Small Press Publisher. These guys are great contributors. And if we're any sort of Nevermorians, we need to support them. So please, please, please take a moment, do a quick search on YouTube for these guys, and give them some love. Okay, let's get them to 100 people over. 100 people or over before the end of the show, and not naming names. Good for you, Skunk. Discretion is the better part of valor. And Willow Skyler hates iPhone's autocorrect. Sorry, Red Million. And Willow Skylar, Facebook wasn't letting me type in Messenger or chat, and then at first, then rebooted. It's still acting weird, so I just switched. It says Vermilion. See, that's why I try to tell everybody, come over to YouTube. Now, I don't mean to be cranky on Facebook. In fact, I've been reading. I think I heard or I read something over the weekend that that Facebook is actually. I think they're dinging people somehow who complain about the service, and it's like, I know you get what you pay for, and it's free for most of us. But I'm also learning some things about buying likes for your programming or your stuff on Facebook. That is. Still need to do. I've got my person doing research on it, but it turns out I've been doing it right, and it's all about likes versus engagement. Engagement is key. Here's a tip for broadcasters: do what I do. Engage your audience. Talk to them. If somebody leaves a comment later on, make sure you reply to it, because this counts towards what you do. And YouTube, a lot of people, it used to be like a couple of years ago that you had to have 4,000 watch hours in a month. Actually, I think it used to be like 4,000 and a quarter. Now they changed it to 4,000 in a month. And you had to have at least 1,000 subscribers. Well, about a year ago, they added that you have to have a certain level of engagement. And thanks to you guys, I have that, and I have an excess of 4,000. I could give away. We're well over 5,000 a month, and thank you to everyone who shares this show and gets the word about it. It is sincerely appreciated, and we hope we can do more for the community. That is our goal. I'm not looking to become a professional broadcaster. I want this to pay for certain improvements I want to make towards it. I wouldn't even mind if it got to the point where I could let some of what I make trickle down and help the other broadcasters. But that's a ways off. That's a long-term goal. But anyway, so Facebook, it's acting in a way that to be honest, if there was another platform that gave even half the reach that Facebook does, I would probably give it some love. No, it's not going to be MeWe. I know that. Anyway, Cindy Cap says, this is more fun than fireworks. You need to launch something at Smashwords for me. Thank you, Cindy. And Remelian says, Willow Skylar, no worries. I have one person that calls me Melon for Ren. Thank you, though. Yeah, Ren, I'm sure that I'm sure I mess it up occasionally. I try not to. But you've probably heard about every permutation of your name there, and you may get multiple messages from me, Brian. Oh, darling, dear Penthouse Forum. I never thought it'd happen to me. Anyway, and thank you, Blush. Love you, hon. And don't talk about vibrators, Brian. Someone might get offended again. We can only hope. But now they know what they are. Anyway, Sarah says, I was going to watch your Friday show, but I was a little busy literally dragging my exhaust system on the road to CarX. Oh, my God. Oh, I've had that happen to me. There was this majestic sheath of sparks following me where I get. I hope you got it fixed, sweetheart. And I hope you had a great 4th. And it looked like you were having fun. Thank you for sending me those pics. Those made me very happy. And now Christian's going to want some too. And Santa Sign, definitely go to Amazon and check that out. That's my international big time seller. We have sold copies of that all over the globe. And yes, it's a globe, not a plate. Anyway, Swords and Axes from Nicholas Anthony Tucker. Please check it out on Amazon, where you can also find Animal Eye by Cindy Kep, and sign up at CKOEPP for the best of all my peer group. I love the newsletters that come out, but Cindy Kep's is amazing. It really does. She actually put some forethought into it. And Sarah, I was prepared to stop at the pipe in the back seat and put the pipe in the back. Excuse me. I was prepared to stop, put the pipe in the back seat, and then keep going to the shop. Yeah, my problem was it's still the part of the pipe that connected it to the manifold had come loose. So it was up, the tailpipe was down, and it was touching the ground. The funny thing is, I drove by a cop. This was at night, so it was pretty impressive to watch me. I looked like I was the Ghost Rider. And I'm driving down the road, and I've got about 20 miles to get home. And I was trying to pull up the pipe, and I didn't have anything with me to do so. And I drove by a state cop, and he's just sitting there not doing nothing. It's like, I would have stopped me. Maybe he could have helped me. But anyway, that was then. That was Illinois. Anyway, Remelian says, my grandfather was ground troops in World War II. My uncle was a World War II paratrooper. My dad was Korean War. I am an ex-Navy aircraft carrier wife. USS Kitty Hawk. Salute. Yeah, all of my uncles served in the military. I lost one uncle in the start of World War II. Never, of course, obviously, I never got to meet him. My father was, I think most of I know I had a couple uncles, I think that served. No, they all would have served in Korea. I'm recalling now. My father served in Korea, and he also worked in the government during the Vietnam War. So I'm the first generation that never went into military service in the Morrises, and I think it's one of the numerous reasons they don't talk to me. Anyway, the Skycrasher says, well, if you want more FPS trivia, I'll keep that in mind. Hey, by all means, man. And Magic and Vampires, you can't get enough of it, especially when you buy Nightrake by John B. Pica, johnpica.com. Check it out on Amazon. And the artwork of Bill Sarton. Good morning to you. Marvelous Monday morning to the Funky Monkey Fest, man. And all the manic Monday Morians. Count your blessings and thank God for them. And bring Cookie home. That's my blessing. She's home all week. That's going to be fun. And we're getting stuff accomplished, too. And the Legend of Traveling TARDIS for all things Doctor Who. City Cap, thank you. That's every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. And Cindy Cap, and here's the link right there. You got it. And Joe Dog McKill just finished a great book, Falling Off a Cliff by Eileen Dover. I love her work. I fall for her every time. But yeah, and also right now I'm reading a real good book, Evolution Man by Charles F. Milhouse. And it's a loving homage to the $6 Million Man. And it starts out with whereas Colonel Steve Austin was in that test jet crash, this guy falls off the side of a mountain. It's a little different. It's a lot of fun. It's Charles F. Milhouse. Please check it out on Amazon. And check out the Dastardly Dingoes. They are growing. Oh, my God. And being a gentleman, I don't look where. Anyway, Cindy Caps is... thank you very much for that, Cindy. That's as far as I'm going with that. You'll be glad to know. Mwah. Anyway, check out the Dastardly Dingoes. They are a terrific podcast. And I understand they're getting a fourth member. Good for them. And the artwork of Bill Sarton says the bird's the word. When you get Cindy Cap's nice, nifty, and never shifty newsletter at ckoepp.com, it's really fun to tweet about. It is. Check it out. Check out her work on Amazon because she's awesome. Thanks. Well, thank you, Cindy. You do so much for us. It is the total least we can do to point out that you're awesome. And comment number 2. And Cindy Cap says, nerd culture, it's not just for yogurt anymore. It's Ryan Permis, and check out that link right there. And wow, I almost forgot about that Ed O'Neill movie. It was a great movie. Need to watch it again. From the Desk of Small Press Publisher. Yeah, that was one of the things about Married with Children. He was fantastic on there, but he did that new Dragnet, and I think they did the right thing in not trying to imitate Jack Webb, but he reminded me that before Married with Children, he was a fantastic dramatic actor too, kind of like Leslie Nielsen. But the thing is, Nielsen towards the end of his life became kind of typecast as the comedic actor, which he was terrific as, but I remember him doing MASH and thinking, wow, this is a stretch for him. Although, MASH was it started as a sitcom with dramatic overtones and evolved into a drama with a little bit of comedy. So anyway, Ed O'Neill's great. And from the National Small Press Publisher, check out that YouTube channel. Please, let's give that a like. Before the end of the hour, the end of the show, I'd like to see from the Desk of a Small Press Publisher on YouTube and Stupid O'Clock on YouTube, with 100 subscribers. Please, let's employ the power of the Nevermorians on this one, okay? And Remillion says, yeah, there are more than 1,500 children now, several residential schools, several mass grave sites. Daughter is part Sioux. I'm part Lenny Lenape. I know I mispronounced that, and my apologies. Moves on before her mood shifts. Yeah, definitely. We're moving on past that. But it's something to keep in mind. Always. And Good Morning America. Hey, I know that show. Nicholas Tockard, good to see you, brother. I tell you, folks, this was the fourth I personally desperately needed. I was dreading it until sunset, and it just opened up all the summer joys and plans lost for 2.5 years. Yeah, I think that's one thing. Yeah, I think I've forgotten, and I appreciate your reminding me, Nick, is that, we didn't really have a July 4th last year. And thank goodness we got one this year, and we hope everyone stayed safe and didn't set any cornfields on fire or anything. But yeah, I wish there was a way to have fireworks without all the damn noise. But I saw your pictures, Nick, and those were beautiful, man. And you live in such a beautiful part of the country, at least to the south, and the southern view. If I had a place in the country, that's the sort of view I would want to have, where I could watch the crops grow, look at the wind farms, all kinds of cool stuff. Nick, glad you guys had a great time. I'm so happy for you. And Neuroses, it's not just for breakfast anymore. It's Amy Hale's brand new book. Please check her out at author Amy Hale and on Amazon. And hubby is Catholic, and he's furious. Oh, Remillion, I just bet. I've noticed my own church. We're Presbyterian. And I'm noticing now that we're back together for live services, we have like a weekly prayer of forgiveness, where basically we are forgiven for our sins, and we have to help though. But anyway, I've noticed the prayer in since we have come back has had a little aside in there about bless the church and help us work past the iniquities it has caused, which I think is very telling. Presbyterians are pretty mellow, and I'm sure our church has got its share of things to blush about, but some religions have been a little more aggressive than others, apparently. But I think it's a good stand for this church, at least saying, yeah, we've screwed up. We've got to do better, and we're sorry. We are sincerely sorry. And Remillion goes, oh, thank you. Mwah. And Warriors Trilogy, Michaela Jade, oh, hell yeah. Go to Amazon and pick that up today. And from this, a small press publisher, Brian, the NBA on NBC license was one of the most expensive licenses to get, since it was one of NBC's most popular broadcasts and getting the rights to John Tesh's theme to use in the game. Yeah. Okay, that was what I was wondering, Joe, was the cost of procuring that license. Occasionally I'll see, like in comics, somebody will get a license now. Marvel, I understand Star Wars, I bet they got a discount. But somebody picks up a license, and I'm like, really? You guys got, your pockets are that deep? So yeah, that's kind of what I was wondering, and I could see where Tesh's music could have been a major expense there. So yeah, that's cool. Thank you, Jody McPhee. I appreciate the information. That's great. And no typo, I was sick about a year right before the lockdown. Oh, that's true. That's true. You were. I forgot, Nick. I'm glad you're better now. Renmelian says, still hopeful to get out to Imaginarium for an in-person with you and Rodman. If I have my car, brakes going in the shop Wednesday, keep us posted, Anna Maria, please. We are probably going to go out Friday night, or probably Saturday too. I know Molly is going to be attending the banquet there, but Brian and I aren't. So yeah, let's coordinate on this, sweetheart. Let's coordinate. And from the Decimal Small Press Publisher, well, in the 90s, it was one of the more expensive. No, I could see that. The sports licenses are so crazy costly that I could see that. Yeah. Thank you. And how poetic. Definitely. Amazon. Thank you, Cindy Kep. Check out Teresa Dunn's work. And yeah, they did that to me. Didn't know the private messages were being flagged. Ugh. Yeah. I mean, there's, and you have to, why are they going after community standards? Like I said, I had somebody post torture porn on my page. I deleted that person. I reported it, and they said, I don't want to talk about the what was on there. I mean, it's nothing sexual. It was simply torture. It was politically motivated, but somebody said, "Oh no, there's nothing wrong with that. It does not violate Facebook standards." And I wrote back saying, "Well, if this doesn't violate your standards, I don't know what will." And now they are, and I understand that I have heard that some of the things they're looking for are criticisms of Facebook. I'm probably going to have to go YouTube exclusive. Plus our Twitch friends. We love you, Twitch. Twitch, we may be seeing a lot of each other soon. And thank you to whoever's watching us on Twitch. We appreciate that. And the Skunkcracker says, "Oh yeah, thank God Kathy is here to distract Brian from my extra awfulness." You're gonna have to ramp it up, Skunk. No, actually, Skunk, it's like I told Christian Basil one time. If you're trying to make me blush, you will have to reach a point where I will have to ban you. The bar is set real high on that, as anyone who knows me personally can tell you. And Remelian says, "Excited for Imaginarium, doing 2 panels, modding 2, and teaching a workshop." That's great. I think I'm on 3. I think I'm moderating 1. I gotta get my schedule together this week. That is all there is to it. And the Denny's in Louisville is actually really good. I went to, where was it? Well, most of the time they have like a food truck, or they had a food truck there a couple of years ago. It was a crepes. OMG, it was amazing. I literally that weekend I ate through their whole menu. I didn't lose any damn weight that weekend at all, that's for sure. But it was a great food truck, and the guys it got to the point where the guys were seeing some of us so often they were starting to joke with us, and I was teaching them some dirty jokes I knew. But anyway, but now that's good, and that was a while ago. Facebook is fine now. I'm on YouTube now. It was being weird for the chat. Fixed it. Good for you, Red Mellion. Give them what for. And Cindy Kep says, "The Historical Fencing Guild, you want info on training on a budget and without being built like Mr. Universe? Follow Nick Tockard on the YouTube channel, the Historical Fencing Guild. Always a fun show. I can't always catch it when it's live. I try to say hello, but definitely check that out. Oh, and also check out our friends at Indie Volt. Yesterday afternoon, they had an excellent show on blacklisting going on in independent comics. And it seems that there are lists being kept of people with an affiliation. Without going into specifics, there are 2 large, loud camps of people. One are, and you can think of it like the political parties. The far ends of it are getting all the attention because they're the loudest, but it's Comicsgate versus Social Justice Warriors. And I'm right in the middle. I agree with, each has sides that I agree with. But it turns out that there is a comicsgate.org, I think it is. They keep a list, an unofficial list of people who are Comicsgate members or Comicsgate friendly. And it seems that there are some people that are basically being bigoted towards them. A friend of mine, and I'm a little disappointed, wants to work in the big leagues, wants to work in one of the top 10 comic publishers rather than indies right now. And he basically said that he has divorced himself from all of the Comicsgate people because he doesn't want anyone to think he's one of them. He thinks that'll hurt him. And it's like, how many, like Luke Stone is Comicsgate. And he produces amazing work. And I've heard about some of the things he's got on the drawing board. And I'm like, this guy's going to be a powerhouse not long from now. I mean, I should be so creative. And well, the thing is, he and I are going to work together on a project as soon as he clears up his schedule. But it is disappointing to hear that we are now keeping lists like Senator McCarthy did back in the 50s, and people are being, it's all they are doing is subscribing to a philosophy. It is not like they're going out and actively hurting the industry or hurting other people. In fact, Comicsgate is very supportive of a lot of projects, and a lot of people affiliate themselves with it in the hopes of getting that power, that financial power behind them. But yeah, it was. But anyway, enough of that digression. But definitely check out Indieville Special Edition. In fact, check out the last 2 weeks. They have had Varian Grant and Randy Zimmerman have had some amazing broadcasts and useful to the comics community and all creative communities about blacklisting yesterday. Great discussion there. And then the week before was about how narcissists can invade our projects and how it basically how one person destroyed Terraform Comics by trying to take it over and almost tried to take over some other businesses, including this one. Anyway, Molly Daniel says, places near the Hotel Texas Roadhouse, Panera Bread, Outback. Those are the ones I remember. I know down the road, there are a couple others to the north, and I think there's a couple of Mexican restaurants in the area too that I never got to go to. I don't care to go to like fancy restaurants by myself. And the year I did that, I was without a date or anybody. So anyway, Nicholas Tucker, this is the problem with the overreactions of social movements. Where is the cutoff for past behavior, especially if someone has changed and grown beyond previous attitudes? Exactly. Look at James Gunn, the director of the latest Suicide Squad movie and the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise for Marvel. He made a slur, an anti-gay slur, a number of years ago. And it was meant as a joke, kind of a dark joke. And he got dinged for it enough that he got fired from the Guardians of the Galaxy until the cast, the crew, and the fans put pressure on Marvel, and they had to, and the thing is, Gunn, right after that, apologized for it. He said, I was in a different headspace then. I wasn't as aware as I am today. I am so very sorry I ever did that. And he sounded like he meant it. And so Kevin Feige did bring him back into the fold. But, it's funny how Facebook and other interested parties, they see the offense, but they never see the apology. And we all have done that. We have all made jokes from a dark place that right now we're looking back and going, oh my God, why did I post that? And now Facebook is looking for that stuff. And, that's, I'm seriously looking at other platforms. I may move a little bit of my stuff over to LinkedIn. I'm looking into Twitch. And we are doing shows on Twitch now, and thank you very much to the Twitch community. But yeah, it's becoming odious on Facebook. Anyway, Cindy Kemp has Comics Talk with Pops Van Zandt, and Pops has a show tonight. Please check it out. I think is it 4 o'clock or is it 9 o'clock? Anyway, just check out Comics Talk with Pops Van Zandt. It's a great channel, and give him some love too. All right, Nicholas Tockard, real crimes have statutes of limitations most of the time. Comment should, yeah. And if nothing else, go up to the person and say, you posted this on so-and-so day. Do you really still feel that way? My attitude has changed on a lot of things. I may look old, but I'm pretty hip. Hipper than a lot of people half my age, in fact. But, I don't hold a lot of the same values that I did when I was even in my 20s, because I see now that I was wrong, that it wasn't inclusive. It wasn't healthy. And you got to leave that stuff behind. The more you learn, the more hopefully empathetic you become. And I think if I'm intolerant of anything now, I'm intolerant of intolerance. Anyway, Renmelli and Ryan, the Expanse book series by James S.A. Corey, currently reading. And Nick is great, says from the desk of Small Press Publisher. I could not agree more. And Christian and Sarah saying hello. And Nicholas Tucker says that was the wrong link. Facebook switched out my link. Did they really? That's weird. Now, that is totally weird. And I know that Facebook doesn't like you leaving Facebook for any reason. I wonder if they're becoming, they're not allowing that anymore. That's going to be fun for my backlinks, isn't it? And this weekend, IABE in West Des Moines at Valley West Mall. Come get geeky, nerdy stuff. Yeah, definitely. Check it out. Check out the Indie Author Book Expo IABE page on Facebook. And Cindy Kemp is going to be there along with some amazing authors. And if I wasn't already booked at Imaginarium, I would come out there. I really would. Because I had a glorious time last time I was out there. And that's where I met Cindy Kemp. Jen Thompson runs a series of wonderful shows across the Midwest. Please contact her for more information. And Nicholas Anthony Tockard, Facebook switched the link for the Hybrids RPG Quick Play Edition. Get the game they don't want you to see. There's your marketing there, brother. Anyway, go to Kickstarter.com. Projects Luke Stone Studios Hybrids role-playing game Quick Play. Definitely get that. I'm signed up for a copy. I'm super, super psyched to get that thing. And I'm looking forward to playing it with you, brother. And Remelian, you need to check out the sci-fi shorts on YouTube. Dust series. Ooh, I'm always up for new stuff. I'm watching so much YouTube as it is. I need more. Anyway, Cindy Kemp says July 17th in Des Moines at Merle Hay Mall, Iowa Old School Gamer Auction at the Iowa Gaming Classic. She will have some snazzy gaming stuff. And Remelian says, love you, Cookie. Well, hopefully you two will get to meet each other next week. That would be super, Anna Maria. I would love that. Seriously. And here we go. And Christian Basil said, I know, BK. Melanie and Dave wanted me to take a break. Get out of here, Christian. You're embarrassing us. Yes, and that's why we're having a special Who News today at 2 p.m. Eastern. We're talking to fellow cosplaying Whovian and emergency management specialist Bob Pickering. Bob will be talking about Elsa. Oh, that's a tropical storm Elsa, and how it'll be affecting Florida in recent Who News today at 2 p.m. Eastern, and only at the YouTube Legend Traveling TARDIS. All you weather fans, this one is definitely for you. You're not sharing it on the Rising Tide broadcast page? Okay. Anyway, Nick Tucker, thanks, Joe D. McPhee says Nick Tucker, definitely. And City Camp's July 24th on Fort Dodge Comic and Toy Show, QuadCon Fort Frenzy. Come on by and buy from Cindy Kemp. And then the next day at QuadCon Waterloo Comic and Toy Show. I'll be there too. I am booked up in July so bad. Although Waterloo, how far is Waterloo from me? Is that 4 or 5 hours? And Cookie will kick my ass for looking into other shows. Anyway, the three most common, Joe Dog McKeel from YouTube says the three most common expressions or famous last words that start a bad day are, why is it doing that? What's that noise? And oh, yeah. I say that last one more than I probably should. Anyway. And I have more reason to. Anyway. And it's 98 now, Joe. Eek. Stay dry and hydrated, everyone. Okay, don't make me worry about you guys. And Romelia says, Joe Dog McKeel, you forgot. Hey, y'all, watch this. Yeah, or hold my beer. Yeah, that's all. Everything. Every time you hear that, something bad's going to happen. And Cindy Kemp says July 31st and August 1st, Davenport QuadCon Comic and Toy Show. Cool stuff. And she will be there as well. That's all the reason you need to go. I will be at the Superman celebration. I won't be setting it up. Setting up there. I will be wandering around, but definitely check out Artist Alley and Writer's Way, which I think is going to be in the basement of the Banterra Bank this year. A lot of cool people there. I think Kathy Jackson will be there, Amy Hale, Sean Delaney, all manner of wonderful people. So definitely check it out. And I wish I could support both Joes twice. So do I. I keep saying, let's all go subscribe. And I wish I could go back and subscribe again. I've got another account that I bollocksed up. I can't get into it. But if I could, I would support those guys. Seriously. But what you can do, folks, if you want to, is they have a channel. If you've already subscribed, if you have a computer that you're not working on, call up their channel, and they have a playlist, and play that playlist when you're not at your computer station, because this registers as a play for them, and that also helps them. That helps them in their hours, and I try to do that for them whenever possible, and I hope everyone else will consider that too. And just check the map: Olive Garden, Chili's, Carbar's, Gustav's Mexican Grill. I think it's Gustav's Mexican Grill I may have seen. I prefer, when I go out of town, I like the independent places. I think I only ate at the one franchise store because it was like right next door to a or it was like right block or two from Barnes and Noble. I wanted to go there. But yeah, I like the independent places better, and I'd rather support them than a chain. But anyway, those are good choices, Molly. I could find something, and even more important, Cookie could find something there with her eating allergies. And Sarnard76 for vintage cartooniness. Cindy kept with no. She got some stuff from him, and it's gorgeous. Really, Bill did a super job on her robots, and it was great. You should check out Bill Sarn and commission work from him. And the artwork of Bill Sarn. Speaking of you, join Grumpy Uncle Carl and Aunt Donna every Friday night at 7 p.m. in the green room for no holds barred hilarity. What happens in the green room stays in the green room until Carl Witzman takes a screenshot of it. That's true. To get there, you have to be a member of Uncle Carl's secret humor group. Don't call him, he'll call you. Basically, you get somebody to recommend you, because Carl will he'll boot your butt out of there if you aren't fun. And Carl, we've got about 200 people plus, and how many people participate or even like things? I think maybe you need to purge some people. You never know. But anyway, we will be keeping you posted there also about my Wednesday package. I'm excited. Anyway, so anyway, you can't get there unless you are in Uncle Carl's secret humor page. And yep, says Renmelian, they're competing with Twitch. I'm Renmelian on YouTube as well. And I think I need to make sure I'm subscribing to your channel, sweetheart. And good goal to have, hashtag lift as you climb. That's the way I do things. And if I find people, it kind of disappoints me to see some people that that they don't pull people up as they're going up. I'm trying to keep up with the rest of you, but then I see people that aren't doing that, and that's not rising tide, or they stop doing it because it's all about them, and that's not rising tide either. You don't do it it's not like no, I'm not going to say that analogy. It'll sound naughty. Anyway, Renmelian is short for the Renaissance Chameleon. That's right, Renmelian. You explained that to me one time, and she mocks me with her laughter about my ignorance. Anyway, I'm used to the mocking laughter. Yeah, I love you. Anyway, let's see here. Oh, big dump here. And join Ryan Permisson and Dave Adams for Geeky Goodness on their Geek at Birth podcast. You'll be glad you did. Super glad you said that. And Ace Bonnie, good morning to you from YouTube. Hope you're having a great morning. And Renmelian grew up on $6 Million Man and the Bionic Woman, the original Wonder Woman as well. Linda Carter, numb. Oh my God, yes. I used to do a little side here. I used to do interview transcriptions, and I was working with Andy Mangles, who has the Wonder Woman Museum in California. He's a great guy and a super writer. But anyway, he was interviewing several people from the Wonder Woman TV show of the 70s, including Linda Carter. Now, Linda had just come off stage from one of her performances. People may not know this, but she's a terrific singer and dancer. She's had several CBS specials during the 70s, but she's got a terrific voice. And she had just come off the show, and her voice was a little hoarse. And let's just say I wish I'd kept a copy of that, because Linda Carter has a terrific voice, but OMG, to hear her just a little bit hoarse, a little throaty, and I'm like, oh my God. Let's just say I was at attention when I was transcribing the whole thing, and Cookie was like, I understand. And I told Andy, I said, thank you for letting me do this. I said, I have to say that I was having a physical reaction to her voice, and he told me, he said, Brian, I'm gay, and I was getting hot over it too. So, and he's open about it, so I'm not outing him or anything. Uh, anyway, he's a great guy. Like I said, I love Andy to death. Anyway, the artwork of Bill Sarton. Join the Far Out and Groovy Kids by clicking on Sarton 76 on Facebook for better days from yesterday. My snazzy jazzy sketches will tickle your innards, just like old time Mountain Dew, and warm your heart. Plus, they're always available for purchase safe and securely through PayPal. So hit the follow button on the artwork of Bill Sarton, where everything old is new again, because it's awesome. He does good work. And Skunk Rocker, and just remember that Ed O'Neill has a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu now. Al Bundy can whip your butt. Well, nobody better be asking Kelly out that he doesn't like. That's one of the things I used to love about Married with Children. It's like they fought constantly. All four members of the family fought and insulted each other. But when the punks would come by to try to date his daughter, he went into full protective father mode. It just made me so happy. And Renmelian says, Nicholas Tucker, the yard was full of fireflies last night. It took me back to my childhood. It was really nice. We watched the fireworks from the car on the way home. Yeah, we were, like I said, we drove about 20 miles north to watch some fireworks up there. We sat in a mall parking lot, eating some carry out from Casey's and just having a really good time and holding hands. It was lovely. And then last night, like I said, we got onto the West Lafayette side of the Wabash, and we're watching the downtown fireworks. And it was just so much fun to watch as we were driving home, we could see explosions of light all over from distant communities. It was a good time. Like I said, it was just the noise that was annoying me. In fact, I woke up this morning at like 8:30 this morning. Somebody set off a couple of fireworks. Why are you setting off fireworks in the daylight, you idiot? Anyway, Nicholas Tucker says, my week plans involve massive map making for the Hybrids RPG core rulebook, researching wrestling for Redacted, and working on 4 RPG related projects. What are you doing? Well, I'm setting up my stuff for Imaginarium, which will be at the Holiday Inn Louisville East at 1325 South Hurstbourne Drive in Louisville, Kentucky, starting noon on Friday. Go to entertheimaginarium.com for more details. I finished some editing I did for Tourneurs, and I am currently trying to figure finish a short story I've had on my plate for well over a month, but I'm finally finding the voice in it now. And I also may have pitched a comic book title to somebody. So I'm getting the scripts ready for that, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Because it involves something I showed off last week. Okay. And it was legal. Anyway, let's see. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Tell us what's on your drawing board this week, people. What are you working on? Ace Bonnie says Ed O'Neill turned down Alan Bundy when offered the role at first. That's right. I'd forgotten it. Yeah, and look, and I can see where he would, because there's some actors who don't want to get typecast as one certain thing. And like I said, Ed looked like a decent career of playing like on different shows, and then all of a sudden, a stupid comedy could mess up his career for life. And it didn't mess up Leslie Nielsen's, but just the same, I'm sure there was every now and then he might have wanted to do a nice meaty drama. I know that when I used to do community theater, and I know for a while I was getting frustrated because I wanted to try out for dramatic roles, and I kept getting comedy. It wasn't until I moved here to Lafayette that nobody knew my repertoire that I got a couple serious roles. And I had so much fun, because if you get the timing down for comedy, drama's a cinch. And I always tried to inject drama into my comedy and always find the humor in everything I did that was serious. So anyway, and Christian Basil says, Sarah, I was about to put the pipe back in, and that's when I died. Et mortus et Christian. Anyway, Nicholas Tockard. Oh, Remelian, says Nick Tockard. This is our normal round here. Heck, that's a big part of tonight's plan. Very cool. And Cindy Kep says, don't forget to tip your host. Thank you so much, Cindy. In fact, sometimes I forget about this too. But we have a tip jar. If you enjoy what you see in here, please consider leaving a tip for us at paypal.me/risingtidebkm. And it's a one-time donation. All donations will be privately and gratefully acknowledged. So thank you very much. Otherwise, if you want to sign up for my check out my Patreon page, do a search for Brian K. Morris, all one word, all lowercase, and I should pop up, or contact me via Facebook Messenger, and I will send you a link. Anyway, thank you so much, Cindy, and don't forget to bring Cookie home. Thank you. That's one of our goals, and to bring you home too, Cindy. We want all the Nevermorians doing what they do full time. And I knew I noticed something. There we go. Yeah, I was hoping you would. Anyway, Cindy Cap says, sign up for Rising Tides newsletter. It is the bomb diggity. Oh, thank you so much, Cindy. And you can sign up at risingtide.pub, or you can send me a Facebook direct message with your email address. And we do not sell, trade, barter, or give to the Somalian pirates your contact information. It stays with me. Every month we do, around on the first of the month, we release a brand new newsletter with secret videos. And this month we actually had 3, and one was so secret you can't get to it from the main page. But we usually list a couple of really cool videos that we think are worth your while in the secret links, and we also provide a quote about creativity that we always find interesting or inspiring, I should say. Plus, we keep you posted on what we do, and we have a complete agenda of all of our appearances until the end of the year. So please check it out. All right. Thank you, Cindy Cap. Love you. And Skunk Cracker says, yeah, he wasn't a fan of the character, and he was happy when the show was finally canceled, but that was then. Today, he's found appreciation for the show. Well, the thing is, most of the time, that show was very, very well written. And the characters, a lot, they all had more depth than what you would initially think. Like I said, Al could be the protective father. There were times when Peg showed that, she knew this was the man of her life. And Kelly showed signs where she was smart, and, and Bud wasn't always a horn dog. And what I thought was funny about it was around season 4 or 5, I thought that the show was starting to lose steam. And when Steve left, I thought the show was, kind of sliding by then. I guess he went off to do more stage work, which is what he preferred to do rather than situation comedy. But they kept bringing him back in for guest shots, which was cool. But then the show got really weird for one season and seemed to find its way again, which was really, really cool. I really enjoyed that. I liked it. I think it hit more than it missed. Scott Clarker says he even takes photographs of him in his jujitsu gi with his hand down the belt like Bundy in his favorite on the couch pose. Oh my God, that's hilarious. That's great, Skunk. Thank you. And Remelian says to Nick Tockard, sweet, I teach map illustration to K through 12 kids online and draw them for authors. I've got a micro podcast coming up. That is my map. That is Map LARP. Ooh, nice. And I will have to ban you. Torture porn. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, if you want it, I'll tell you how to find it, Christian. And Cindy Kep says, check out Patreon. I'm even there. Cindy Kep is on there. CKOEPP. I'm even there working on Progzegian Press, freelance words. I'm about to wrap that up, and next will be Progzegian Press. Trouble is for the birds. I'm enjoying them, Cindy. I've yet to read the latest episode, but you got to check out her newsletter and check out her Patreon page. A lot of people are doing some cool things. I'm going to release some more chapters on from the Terror. We'll do our blog for the week. It doesn't come out on a specific day. It's whenever I can fit it in. But I try to do one every week. And God bless all my Patreon people for their patience with me. And Skunk Rocker says, don't push me, Fez boy. There are worse things than death, and I can do all of them. Well, send me a rate sheet. We can talk. And Angie Dudas, good morning, everyone. Mwah! Good morning, Angie. And also huge congratulations to you and Grant Lankard for your successful Beowulf issue 2 crowdfunder on Kickstarter. You done good. And Embarrass You challenge accepted, Joe Dog McKeel. Joe Dog, it's like I told Christian. Christian said he and Sarah had a thing going where they would see who could make me blush first. And actually, the person who made me turn red was neither one of them. Neither one wins. The first person to do it was Clyde Hall. Okay. But anyway, embarrass you channel. Yeah. But I told him in order to genuinely embarrass me, the bar is set so high, Joe Dog, as you can well imagine, that they would have to do something that I would have to ban them from this show and possibly block them. I don't want to have to do that, but I will. It will have to be something so offensive. All of you will probably take your likes off of the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS and block him as well. That's what it will take. And I'm not joking. If you look at my work history of adult bookstores and comic book shops, you're going to realize, and television, you're going to realize then where the bar is. You can't even see it from the ground. Anyway, Nicholas Tucker, Renmillion. Yes, you mentioned that when we last chatted. Wonderful. And crepes are my addiction, says Renmillion. My mother made them all the time growing up. The Swedish variety. Ooh, ricotta cheese and fruit. I used to call them creepies. That's how you get kids to eat that stuff. Like you tell people that's not spaghetti and meatballs. That's human flesh with blood sauce and parts of their nervous system. Ooh, cool, Mom. Can I have seconds? So, and my mom got me to eat carrots. I didn't want to eat carrots because they were orange and didn't look right. And she got me to eat them because she told me they were orange potatoes. So, so I'm still pretty gullible. But anyway, no, Mom used to make crepes all the time too. I haven't made them for myself in ages. It's been a long time. I haven't really gotten the batter proper, but I will. I think I need to challenge myself. And Renmelian continues, Nicholas Tucker launching a workshop for adults. The parents have been messaging me. The platform won't allow adults in the classes, so I'm doing it through Zoom separately. There you go. And crepes are my addiction. Craps are my addiction, says the skunk wrecker. I gotta roll them bones past line 7s and 11 snake eyes. Oh yeah. And craps are mine too, but I'm old, and that's where I'll leave it. Just kidding. I only play mahjong. That's true. And Molly and Brian, there's an excellent Japanese restaurant we love. Just a suggestion. Ooh, Brian Rod. Oh, Kathy, if you know the name of it, would you send that to Brian Rodman? Because we can do Asian, as long as there's not a surplus of MSG in it. But whoa, he tried to take this show over too. Yeah. Well, actually, the network, or what was the network? It wasn't a network back then, but kept popping in on this show uninvited. And in fact, this was during a phase when the devil couldn't utter a sentence without the F word in it. And he just walked in one day and started setting his stuff up on the Rising Tide publication page. And I said, dude, one, usually you ask before you do these things. And secondly, I appreciate it that if you are going to do that, either cut out that level of bad language or put in a warning. Oh, I don't want to do that. I'm sorry if I pissed you off, sort of thing. And I'm like, well, it's easy enough. I'd be glad to have you on here. And he's like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm the devil. I'm the indie devil. So, and I have a feeling, and I've not discussed this with him, I think he tried to do something else. I know he tried to. In fact, we outline it in the special from a week ago Sunday, that he tried to do something similar on Indie Volt. Actually, it's after, I think the timeline it would be that he tried it on Indie Volt. It didn't work there, so he tried doing it on my page. Didn't work there. I think he also tried to do it with someone else now. What's the clue I could give? And he'll get it. Wizard World. Okay, I think that was part of it. And Molly Daniels likes Kathy's suggestion. I do too. Let's make this happen, people. And heard there was a sushi restaurant nearby the hotel this year, but we found out about it too. Too late. Troll Pub was really good too. Now that's the sort of thing, independent places. I love pubs. I love Asian. I will eat anything as long as it's dead. Shut up, Christian. And Nicholas Tucker, I don't understand divisions among creatives. I mean, I make games. I teach swordplay. I write. I art direct. I edit. I publish. Yeah. But that's the thing. It's become an us versus them war, and there's a bunch of us right in the center that if we just talk about this one thing, it's like we're all trying to get more people to read our stuff or look at what we do. And there's like, I'm a libertarian, so I get to pick and choose from the two sides which things I want my society to be like. As opposed to this uber alles. And I think it's destructive. I really do. And the thing is, the people who are at the far ends of at least one of these things in the creative field, they're playing their people, and it's fun to watch. But anyway, I don't understand it either. If you can't support that sort of thing, shut up and let other people have their joy. As long as it's legal, as long as it's ethical. And Nicholas Tucker, I don't care about politics. I care about it less every day. And oh no, Facebook has become self-aware. Oh no, Skynet has started. Oh my God. And Ramelian says, the Skullcracker runs screaming. I'll be right after you, darling. And Donna Carleen says, Nick, sometimes it's not about the creative. I was attacked by another creative because of my religion. I mean, really? Yeah, that's it. I mean, we have trolls on here. I get attacked for how I dress on here, my weight, my age, things like that. And Donna Carleen, sorry you had to deal with that, says Ramelian. I agree. And Philip Thompson, yes, I did see your cover. It was great. And Donna Carleen continues, Ramelian, thanks, sweetie. As a pagan, it just rolls off, but who it was surprised me a lot. Yeah, I know. And, and the thing is, we shouldn't put up with that sort of thing. And, maybe I should make a promise if that sort of thing happens again. That's the last time they do it. If we have to fire one 6 inches below the waterline, I'm not afraid to do it. Angie Duda says, I don't understand why the comic book world can't include everybody, whether it be the characters or the audience, regardless of who. If you're a bigot or sexist, comic books aren't for you. The whole creative field shouldn't be for you, Angie. I agree with you completely. And especially when somebody says, well, I'm going to affiliate myself with somebody just so I can get sales. Now, Luke Stone isn't like that because he genuinely agrees with a number of the tenets. I think he said yesterday on Indie Vault Special Edition, there's like 5 major tenets of Comicsgate. He agrees with 4 of them, and they say, okay, we're good with that. He couldn't remember the 5th one, which is fine. But when, you say, well, I'm going to associate with myself with these people just because they can get me some extra sales, or I'm going to segregate myself from them because I don't want to be caught. I may agree with them, but I don't want to be seen with them because it might hurt my professional chances. Some of us were talking about that the other day, and to me, that strikes me as, we know what you are. Excuse me. My beg your pardon, everyone. And our signal is a little weak at the moment, so expect pixelation. But but it's like the old Winston Churchill joke. We know what you are. Now all we're doing is haggling about the price. Now, Rebellion isn't doing in-person conventions this year. Next year, can't wait. And hopefully, fingers crossed and praying hard, I'll be able to run Train Job on a real train. You and Cookie need to come down. Visiting you and the fam is on our list, darling. Believe you me. And Ramelian, Donna Carleen, same Christian-based pagan hedge witch. Good for you. Seriously. Bob Dylan said we all got to worship somebody, and that's fine with me. My motto is, as long as you don't scare the livestock, we're fine. And for this, a small press publisher, I could use the watch hours. I try to watch a lot of stuff on replay. I do the same for you, dude. I don't brag about it, but that's something I do because you're my buddy. I do try to watch your shows when I'm on my broadcast computer here because I can set that up. And I think I've even got you as a channel on my YouTube. If I don't, I should. Molly Dance, whoo, Holly assures me I'm on there. Just a glitch in the matrix, maybe? Probably so. I gotta make sure I'm on there too. And Remelian, cool, as I am a Viking descendant, says Donna Carlene, I follow the Norse gods of my forefathers. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong at all. And Remelian, love Carl and Donna. You would love them. They're awesome people. They're two of my favorite mammals on this whole mud ball. And Carl Wisman, 302 people in the group, only about 30 active members. The others are just voyeurs. Well, maybe now is the time to say, you know what? If you're not going to join in the party, we're tired of you peeing in the punch. Bye. Anyway, Donna Carlene, awesome. That is included in mine as well. And thanks, Ren. And the thing is, it's the same way with all of my pages. We have the Rising Tide Publications page. Thank you, everyone. Has some decent numbers, but the thing is, I've got my engagement on is fantastic because Cookie just looked it up this morning. She goes through all the analytics, and our analytics are beautiful, but it's from a non-majority of the page. That's crazy. And some people just sign up to sign up. I'm going through mine, my page list at least once a week, and it's like, why am I here? I don't get any notices from them. I have no interest in this page. I just did because somebody asked me to. But it's like, I can't get to the pages I really need to get to now. It's like with the friends list. And every now and then, I'd like to pair mine. I probably could cut mine down in half and still keep tabs of the people I like. So, it's a constant process, and people, excuse me, I have adopted some things that I do now. Like if you send me a friend request and I do accept it, I don't accept all friend requests. I have to make sure that you're not just friend whoring, basically. And you send me a link to your page, or you send me some sort of business offer, I block them immediately. I don't even tell them why. I probably should, but I don't. I don't think it would matter. It's just crazy. How Facebook has become so unwieldy. And Sarah says, I may show up Friday night. Oh, darling, I hope you do, but I won't be there, unfortunately, because I'll be at the Imaginarium. But sweetheart, don't let that stop you. Please join in the shenanigans. Carl, keep your finger on the screen capture button for me. But anyway, Sarah, I love of you. I really do. And thanks for the love, Ren. I love seeing the love. And sorry I was asleep until Nick mentioned my name. So we'll have to mention Carl Witzman every 15 minutes to make sure you keep him awake. And Angie Judas, meaning that the comic book world is so colorful, so full of uniqueness, why try to box it in? Yeah, exactly. I mean, encourage people. That's what we're about. And the artwork, teach them how to do things better if need be. And the artwork Bill Sargent, if anyone wants to know why Nevermind the Furthermore was shut down by Facebook today, it was because Brian K. Morris just mentioned his Wednesday package. And I know everybody's really looking forward to seeing it. And believe me, when you see it, you'll be impressed. It's pretty sweet. And when Joe Dog told me about it, it's like, wow, this is cool. And Carl Witzman, there's still hot coffee downstairs, says Donna. And good morning, everybody. Hello, Pauper Knight. How are you today? Good to see you. And Redmelian, speaking of comics, one of my brown coats just mailed me a blank cover issue of his Firefly #1 to illustrate. He's planning to get a CG seed after already playing with ideas. That's quite the honor. That's beautiful. For those of you who don't know, that's it's a comics grading service that not only will tell you from experts the condition of your comic, whether it's a 10 or a 3.5 or a 1 or 0.5 or whatever, because there are criteria for it. And they will also seal it in plastic and put some stuff in there to keep it from aging. That it's a good preservative. I have sent my most precious comic to them to get that treatment. And I recently got a Wonder Woman back. And the thing is, once you get it professionally graded, if you're looking at comics as an investment, having it graded professionally increases the potential resale value. I had a Wonder Woman comic that I have just gotten slabbed, as they call it. 98 Joe, you'll know which one it is. And I was surprised to see how much it was now worth. Anyway, hello, my love, Proper Night. Hello, Proper Night. We all love you. And Grant Lanker, good morning, all. Sorry I'm late. It felt like a Sunday all day, I guess because of the holiday. Oh, yeah, definitely. And if the mortar fire was intense around you, I could see where you'd have to hunker down in the foxhole and just wait for sleep to claim you. And I was visiting family yesterday and managed to get home before the sky blew up, says Cindy Cap. Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny because driving through town here, everyone had fireworks, and it's like you could smell the cordite. It smelled like a battlefield around here. Who in their right mind would ever do that? Asked Joe Dog and Kill. Oh, yeah, never mind. Forgot where I was. Yeah. And correct BKM, says Christian Basil. Who knew news? Bit of the TARDIS, and Simon says, are exclusive for the YouTube channel. Don't fret. We've been giving shout outs to the Rising Tide broadcast family on those episodes. Thank you, brother. Rising Tide broadcast always gets love. The full length episodes will return in Tuesday and be live on the RTB Facebook page. Thank you, sir. And I appreciate that, Christian. I really do. Glad to help. Hope we can help you too. Grant Lanker says, Angie and I have been going back and watching Married with Children. It's pretty dumb, but it helps to turn off your brain before bed sometimes. Yeah, but every now and then they have a really clever episode. I'll tell you one thing I wish somebody had put out, and they never will. The two guys who created Married with Children, this was back on the, oh God, I'm blanking out on the network now, but it was a Fox Network wannabe. God, I can't remember the name now. But they had shows like Platypus Man, not to be confused with Nick Tucker. And they had a show on there called Homeboys from Outer Space. And it's about it took place in the distant future, and these two guys that were like space scavengers of African American descent. It was a stupid show. Their AI was actually one of the singers for En Vogue, and they had guest appearances by James Doohan, who was dressed just like he was in the movies, and he was always complaining about his a-hole captain, just like real life. And it was funny as hell, wrong-minded as hell. It will never see light of day, I'm sure. And I've got it on VHS. I should probably find someone who could transfer those things for me. It is ridiculously funny. It really is. Let's see. Here we go. Donna Carly. I got tired of Married with Children when they went from the occasional fat joke to at least one or two in every episode without consequences. Yeah. I didn't appreciate that at all. I agree with you. But, says Christian Basil, if you like BKM, I will be happy to link up this episode to the Rising Tide Facebook page. Just let me know. Nah, don't worry about it, man. That's cool. And Scott Greger says, hi, Grand, in all caps. And check out Philip Thompson's new group there on Facebook. Give it some love. And let's see, here we go. And Brian K. Morris says, Christian Basil just mentioned his Wednesday package. Thus, this day bears the name Hump Day. You better stand back a couple feet, Christian. And anyway, Skunk Rocker says, just occurred to me, we've had this Ed O'Neill discussion once before. The conversations are beginning to repeat. We need new material. Quick, someone think of something we've never thought of before. Skunk, we've never had it on here, though, is the thing. You may have had it on Stupid O'Clock, but every Thursday at 9 and Saturdays at 11 p.m., followed each night by Last Man Standing with Dan Holofield. But no, we've never had it here, I don't think. Ooh, embarrass you? Inserts maniacal laughter. Here's his Vermilion. Okay, now I'm nervous. You could possibly do it, I'm sure. And Sarah, we have to raise the bar, says Christian Basil. And Sarah says, challenge accepted. Oh, crap, I don't want to be blocked. Yeah, but you could get Christian blocked. That would be fun. No, seriously, you would have to do something really vile. And I don't mean funny. I mean vile. But no, anyway, somebody has already made me blush. And that was Clyde Hall during a week ago Thursday on Comic Book Spectrum, where he was detailing the controversy about hashtag Batman Goes Down. So anyway, best not show him our torture porn then. You smile. I'm not. Seriously. I will not put up with that. Married with Children says from the Small Press Poster, started to go really bad during the second season when Amanda Bruce took over most of the directing. The jokes became lackluster due to overuses of activism for comedy. I know. Yeah, you could tell she was a new director at that time. Now she's gone on to direct some really cool stuff, but I do. My favorite episode was the one where Steve and Marcy and the Bundys were out in the woods, and all the women's periods synced up, and I'm, and that was a hilarious episode. It was terrible. It was so wrong, but it was also very, very funny while poking at the stereotypes about women during that time. But also there was one episode where Al was talking to Steve, and he was telling, they were in this department store surrounded by all these women. Goes, well, and Al is like, well, it's really a conspiracy. They are out to kill us. Then it turned to all the women, and one by one they were looking at each other going, there's some great comedy in there. And Remelian says, the only thing my mom ever tried to feed me that I didn't like was liver. Yeah, same here. I mean, I can eat it. If it's between liver and starvation, I can do liver. I really don't care for it. I really don't. Cookie loves it, though. And good for her. And from the Decimal Small Press Publisher, even though I found some of the shenanigans dealing with No Ma'am funny. Yeah, okay, I remember that now. That was good. And yeah, if we did sushi for a meetup, says Vermillion, that would be awesome. We ought to coordinate this through Brian. He's scouting out the area. And Joe Dog McKeel, 11:30, it's that time. It's time to feed Cookie, yes. And we have a little more leeway this week, but not much. Oh, and by the way, folks, there will not be a Friday episode of Nevermind the Furthermore, as we will be at Imaginarium, though we may try to broadcast from down there. We're going to see what kind of Wi-Fi signal we can get. And seriously, WTF for kind of respect is that I'll text you what he said to me a few months ago later, speaking of the devil. Yes, Sarah, I would be interested in that. And it's not like we are going after him personally. He's in the rearview mirror, but there are people like him out there, and people need to be informed. So, we're and I say we, but it's mostly Indie Volt that's doing it, and God bless them for the effort. We need to identify the black hat players and protect ourselves against them. Yeah, but I would be interested in that, Sarah. I really would. Remelian says, I always call myself a creative because I do so many things. Art in several mediums, writing, gaming. There's room for all of us. Exactly. And like I keep saying, we should be growing the pie, not figuring out how we should get, how we deserve a larger share of it. But if we grow the pie, our pieces automatically get larger if we help each other. And some people just can't see it. Some people see this as zero sum. Like if you get one more Kickstarter pledge than they did, even if you're doing something completely different, they see it as you've stolen from me. Or, it's crazy. Anyway, Scott Crocker says it's like playing double Finucci. The only winning move is not to play. There we go. And I'm, and me, I'm kind of like Kobayashi Maru. That's it. I will win. Or as Captain Kirk said in Star Trek 2, I don't like to lose. Red Melia says there was a lot of discussions about inclusivity and DMing in the D&D groups right now, whether or not the book should be revised, etc. I've been hearing about that, which I am interested to see what kind of inclusiveness, how this will work out. But it's like, I have heard people, I did hear somebody say, well, we ought to take out all the various, races in there, like half elves and trolls and things like that. And I'm like, no. It's like, are we going to make gnomes smarter than they are? That sort of thing. It's like, okay, there is a too far, and we have just accomplished it. And Remelian says to Carl Witzman, definitely a voyeur, but I'm active on there. We were out, so I missed the last one, though. And it was such a treat to see you time before last. Now, I will be gone this week, so y'all can show up and talk about me. And whoops, I put the abbreviation of the F-bomb, completely unintentional. I know, and that's okay. The abbreviations, when you spell it out, it's... I've mentioned this joke before, but back in the late 60s, the Smothers Brothers had 2 seasons of a revolutionary comedy show that was variety and funny as hell and socially aware. One of the writers was a young Steve Martin, Okay, and I think that was one of his first television appearances too. But they had this one guy named Pat Paulson who was this very dry but hilarious comedian who actually launched a campaign for president in 1968. And I still have his book on that too. But anyway, when the show was canceled by CBS because they were speaking out actively against the war in Vietnam, CBS canceled the show, and Tommy Smothers went so far as to say, well, we all know now that the C in CBS stands for censorship. And Pat Paulson later said, Tommy, I appreciate what your passion about saying that the C in CBS stood for censorship, but did you have to tell everyone what the other two letters stood for? I love that stuff. And Remillion says, oh my gosh, I get influencer requests on Instagram all the time from people who have very obviously not looked at my feed. Some make me laugh. Yeah, I get that too. And especially on Facebook. Or somebody, we have like 250,000 common friends. And I go up and down the list and I'm like, okay, I appeared on their show. That's why they're, and it's like, I'm not getting they can still follow me. That's fine. I don't care. But any more than that, I'm a little, it's kind of like when you ask to be on Clever Title Pending. It's like, what's wrong with you? Haven't you seen the show? Redmellion says the last Lexicon I was at, there was a guy doing CGC at a booth. Yeah, I've seen that at a couple of the larger shows too. And there's some, and the thing is now, I sent in my Wonder Woman. This was close to I think it's about 6 months ago. And they have now had to open up a warehouse because they are so backlogged with requests that when I picked up my Wonder Woman, they said now that it would be at least 90 days from the time they got to your package, Christian, that they would work on it. Or they'd process it. Now it's like 120 days. They are falling behind, and they are actually, God bless them, hiring more people to help with that. So, I when I turned my new batch in, I told my comic shop person at Comics Cube in Kokomo, they send out a lot of stuff too for the shop, and I said, well, I guess this is going to be my Christmas gift to myself when it comes back. He said, it's very likely it will be. And then I heard about the 120 days. I said, okay, so it's going to be my birthday gift, right? So good be. And Lou Motion, greetings to you, sir. Good to see you, sir. Check out the work of Lou Motion. He works regularly for Warrant Publishing on Creeps and Countess Vampy. It's good to see you here. And for That's So Small Press Publisher, CGC is great for helping preserving older comics. That's why I'm sending this one. It's a Human Torch number 3, winter 1940. It was my high school graduation gift from my mother. I'm definitely sending that in to get cleaned and pressed and slabbed so it doesn't deteriorate more. That was one of the reasons I sent in the Wonder Woman. There's a little tear on the back. It's still got a 3.5, but it's a nice copy. Just slightly off-white pages. It looks great. And Angie Dudas to Remelian on Instagram, I get messages trying to get me to sell their stuff, and I just laugh. Good for you. And from this Small Press Publisher, question, is time to feed Cookie a thing today since there is leftover barbecue? I think we do have leftovers, but it's not as much of a thing as possible. And if not, 18 minutes until then. And Remelian says is rolling on the floor, mocking us with her laughter, saying, I might say the embarrassment for in person so Cookie can razz you. Like she needs the help, okay? Trust me, she does well on her own. Anyway, Grant Lankard says, I have to take Angie to work now. Still love you, Brian. Love you too, Grant. I really do. Have a wonderful day. Commence feeding Cookie or bringing her home or whatever. Thanks for the sincerity. I love everybody. Enjoy. Everybody enjoy the rest of your day. And I think your cartoon group is awesome, Philip. Keep working it, man. Keep going for those members and grow it. Okay. And time to go. Bye, Angie. Mwah. Have a great day at work. Stay cool and hydrated. Nick Tucker, Homeboys from Outer Space, and their space hoopity on UPN. That was it. UPN. The United Paramount Network, wasn't it? Yeah, they were trying to create like a fifth network. And I remember they had they had some good shows on there. But it just didn't have the reach that say Fox did. And I don't think it lasted more than a year and a half. And some of the shows were quite honestly terrible, but it's like that. I remember United some people were calling it the United Platypus Man Network, and Platypus Man was dreadful. But there was a show on Contagion. Oh, no, was it Nowhere Man? Nowhere Man is about a guy that was hunted by the government. And I watched it. I had to stop watching it after a while because it was triggering me triggering my paranormal, or my paranoia, rather, my paranormal paranoia. Anyway, Grand Lager, have a fabulous day from Million. And Angie Dudas, hope work goes smoothly. Enjoy your day. And the only way she will do liver, says Remillion, is cooked in and smothered in bacon and onions. I like if I'm going to eat it, I like it breaded and deep fried. And well, we're going to miss you on Friday, Brian. Well, unless one of my stunt doubles wants to step in. But otherwise, I will probably not be broadcasting. And the show starts at at noon. So I will probably be on the road by then, so I won't. I may do an afternoon thing or something if things get slow. And I know I said I'd be more active today since I had the day off, but I keep getting distracted this morning. Skunk, it's okay, brother. We're just glad you're here. Seriously. And Ray's Issa says Remillion to lift others up and spread the love among the creatives she follows. There we go. That's a good way. You're a good mom. You really are. And that's taking anti-racism to the point of insanity. Lou Motion, I agree. There's a lot of nutty stuff going on these days, so I don't know what to tell you. And Remillion says down there with Carlene, if you've read my Dragons and Wizards, you'd see D&D probably should be changed due to what I did to it. Ooh. And Remillion says my conclusion was to offer a separate guide for inclusivity versus trying to reinvent the wheel. It needs to be more of a DM's guide for those instances. I agree. I mean, D&D, it kind of like about 3 versions ago, kind of left me behind because it's like the wheel works. Quit trying to reinvent it. Tweak it a little, but don't be messing with it. It kind of reminds me of Champions. I played 3.0. for years. In fact, we played it for 20 years, even after it had gone to 5 and beyond. But there was a 4.0 that was wretched. The book for 4.0, I think it was licensed by somebody else, but they created their own offshoot of it. And they left no instructions on how to construct characters, which is half of what the fun of role-playing games are, I think. And then it's one of those things where somebody is taught Photoshop, shown all the amazing things they can do, and then proceed to use each and every one on every page. It was unreadable. It was badly written. And like our gaming community in East Central Illinois said, screw it, we're sticking with 3.0. And we did. So, as far as we were concerned, went from 3 to 5. So yeah, and I know that there was I think, was it a 3.5 or 4 that was trying to be 4.0 that was trying to be like more like an MMORG, and or could tie into one, and I'm like, I'm gone, I'm out of here. And Nicholas Tockard will be on Red Valkyrie Presents Dice Dudes and Dames on YouTube Wednesday night at 8:30 ish, and running an ongoing fantasy RPG game. And I gotta check that out. Red, I don't know how many times I've written this down. Red Valkyrie, yum. Anyway, and my daughter is planning to DM on Twitch, so it should be fun. Oh, that's awesome! Good for her. That's super. Cookie was a great DM herself. She DM'd Hackmaster for a good long time until we moved from Illinois. We can't find a group over here that fits our schedule. Unfortunately, she keeps odd hours, so we understand. We haven't really done any role-playing gaming except for like what I did with Nick Tockard and Luke Stone for the playtest at one time. But that was my first one since I moved to Indiana back in 2014. So anyway, Renmelli and Donna Carly Carlene, I will have to check that out. And F-Bomb asks the Skunk Rocker, you mean Colonel Mustard's work on the new fusion bomb? But I thought communism was just a red herring. Ha 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 ha. I knew something was fishy about that, Skunk Rocker. And Remillion says the Skunk Rocker, love that movie. Tim Curry was a blast. Tim Curry could do anything but turn in a bad performance. Even his lesser lights are still awesome because he's Tim Curry. And Remillion, I've mentioned on the show before, but he was one of the voices of one of the villains on an animated series called Duckman back in the day. Jason Alexander, Private Dick Family Guy, and Dweezil Zappa played his son. And it was so funny. And the only live action part of it one time was where Tim Curry was a recurring villain. And he came back and he's like, he's got Duckman and his son helpless, and he's like, and now I will explain my evil plan to you. Then it cuts to live action. There's this newscaster, and he's saying, today in the news, actor Tim Curry has committed suicide. He left behind a note saying, if I have to play a villain in an animated series and explain my evil plans for the hero to foil one more time, I'm blowing my brains out. And now back to your regularly scheduled program. Then it cuts back to the cartoon, and Tim Curry goes, and that's how I'm going to do it. It's so funny. And anyway, you can replace it with a download. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And Keisha Acuff, hello, beautiful people. Keisha, how are you doing today? Keisha is the model of modern strength. She had surgery that day on Friday, and she showed up in the green room. This is the kind of commitment we expect from you people on Uncle Carl's Secret Humor page. You know what I'm saying? And for this, with Small Press Publisher, I'm happy that I have my Wonder Woman number 9 first Giganta is CGC'd at a 5.5. Oh, man. Good for you. I was surprised my Wonder Woman came in at the level it did. I would have thought it like about a 2 or a 1.5. But I tend to overgrade. I'm very critical. But no, I was very pleased with mine. But that's super, Joe. Man, that is very, very cool. Now, how much of your stuff do you have slabbed? I know you've got quite the impressive Wonder Woman collection. I'm just curious about that. And Cindy Kemp, excuse me, says I was thinking something else. Cindy Kemp, have far too much fun today, darling. Since you've been here, I will do that very thing. CKOEPP.com. Check out Cindy's work. Go check out her work on Amazon and buy a lot of it, especially Animal Eye, her brand new Gamelit book. And keep an eye out for Animal Eye #1, the comic book, first in a mini series. It is awesome. And Philip, I answered that earlier. And much love to you. Love you to the abyss and back, sweetheart. Mwah. Sarah, much love to you, to the abyss and back as well. And hashtag always promotes us, Donna Carly Carlene. That is our guiding light here. Scott Greger says it's 3 till, so you know what? Don't die, feed Cookie. And since he isn't here to ask, why don't you laugh like the Shadow for old time's sake?
Who knows when Cookie is going to be fed? Not even the Shadow knows. Ooh, it's lunchtime. Yum.
Okay.
Come along, Margot.
All right, thank you, Skunk. You're doing the Lord's work there. And Popper Knight, he has a book for champions, I think. Yeah. We had the generation that had like that great George Perez cover and artwork by people like Mike Witherby and Ron Lim and several other professional comic artists. It was really cool to see, really cool to read. And have a great day, everyone. See you all for the fantastic news on Wednesday, Joe Dog. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everything. And hope take me with you. No. Anyway, Sarah says the last time I played D&D, I played a Drow 3.5 edition. Was the last set of insanely expensive books. Well, insane by the time all the books were bought. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you completely. That was something, because they revised the whole line every time they have a new version, and so you have to, put the old books aside and buy every damn one of the new ones. That's the one thing I liked about Hackmaster. It was kind of like D&D 2.0 sort of, although I like their initiative system a little better. And The stated purpose was that the GM was to kill all the characters and the players were to screw up the GM's plans, which we did. And it was basically the core rule book and I think a monster manual. And then, of course, they had like the modules, but you don't have to have the modules as a player. In fact, a number of GMs discourage you from buying them because they may want to run those games. So anyway, yeah, I think 3.0 was my last one. I think I almost went to 3.5, and then I think the group we were playing with broke up. So I think that was the timeline. Anyway, Joe Dog McKeel says, Vermillion, bye, hun. Stay well, stay safe, have a fabulous week. Joe Dog, we love you, brother. We'll be talking to you. And think I should leave my cartoon group as a sell and trade since I'll be selling comic books. It's your business, Philip. You run it how you want, and that's how it should be, man. If you think it's a good thing to do, then do it, man. I say go for it. Go for it, seriously. And Tim Curry was a pirate on an episode of Roly Poly, only when Issa was little. I thought it was mispronounced. Yeah, sorry, Ren. Anyway, I love you, Issa. And but yeah. Oh man, and what was it? He was also on Muppets Treasure Island. He was amazing. He's always amazing. And Nick Tucker, Brian, look into basicfantasy.org if you want D&D done right. And soon we will have to plan a hybrids RPG game night. That would be so cool. And 4. Okay. Basicfantasy.org, though. I do need to write that down. Basicfantasy.org. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate it. And I see, and bye, everyone. Carl Witzman wakes up. Hello, he must be going. Anyway, Carl, have a great day, brother. Hope you have a great one. And Renmelian says, Nicholas Tucker, ooh, keep me posted on that. And I need a small fortune to get key things slabbed. Yeah, that's the thing. They base the cost on the value of the comic. I'm glad I prepaid. So I was surprised. It came in where it did, but yeah, I think it's worth it, especially for preservation. I was dead set against it. In fact, I was active in comic retailing when they started, and I actually got invited to join them. And at the time, I'm like, no. Comics are to be read. But a friend of mine, Dave Laker, started getting his stuff slabbed, and 1, it looks great. 2, it helps preserve them. And I think if nothing else, you can always unslab them and then get them re-slabbed if you want to read them. Plus, so many of them now, since the time I was invited to now, so many comics are now in reprint that if you want to read the stories, you can do it. Like, I don't have any problem now with slabbing my Human Torch because Marvel has reprinted the stories in at least a couple of times. So, and later, I'll have a great day, Donna. Mwah. Love you, and we'll see you soon. And Sarah, I have an exclusive art piece of The Shadow by Jeffrey Hayes. OMG. Yeah, he does super work. Somebody else that does great work, Clayton Merwin. He is a shadow fiend. And he does some great pencil and ink shadow work that is just gorgeous. Red Mellion says, my very first tabletop RPG was Roger Zelazny's Amber Chronicles. Oh my gosh, yes, I love the books. The game was a hoot, played with my fencing group. I think my first one was the first edition Marvel Superheroes game. And I'm sorry that actually got off the market because it was a great game for teaching first-time players how to do the system. I mean, I read the book. I read the rule book. I couldn't make head nor tails out of it. So a buddy ran me through a short adventure, and I picked it up that way. And I'm like, okay, I get it now. I love this thing. Played a little bit of the Marvel role-playing game system after that. Played quite a bit of the DC role-playing game system. The only objection I had to the DC system was that every time they put out a new module, and they were putting out a module a month, they changed the rules in it. So you literally had to keep up on the modules in order to understand the permutations of the game from that point on. And I just said, I'm out of here. After a certain point, actually, I quit playing, but I kept collecting the modules because they had some great covers and some good stories in them too. I was enjoying those. And some of them were written by the pros, like Paul Kupperberg did some, Roger Stern did some. two of my favorite writers in comics, and they did 2 volumes of Watchmen role-playing stuff. And I have a friend who was working for Comics Interview, the late Daryl Boats, and he interviewed the writer of those books from that gaming company. And the writer said basically through his the various official people, he went to Alan Moore and said, is there anything you can tell me that I need to know that you didn't put into Watchmen? Alan Moore just packaged up all of his notes and sent them to the writer. Wow. So anyway, Marvel Superheroes was my first play. Then I got into Champions, and then from there I got into DC and D&D. Call of Cthulhu. We had a terrific Call of Cthulhu game going for about 2 years. That was just so much fun. I've played some others, and there's the new Doctor Who game. I like it a lot too. But there's some other games that I've played, and I'm like, I Shadowrun. That was one I didn't care for. Just hit my paranoia button too much. And did you play any White Wolf games like Vampire the Masquerade or others? No, but Sarah, I was good friends for a while with the guy who illustrated a lot of the early covers, Timothy Bradstreet. He was going to high school at the time in Bloomington, Illinois, and he would come over to Champaign to buy comic books from me. And he would bring his art back then. Even in high school, he's showing me this stuff, and it's like 100 times better than a lot of stuff being published by Marvel and DC. And he's one time before this one convention in '87, he said, should I take this up to show my work, maybe get a job? I'm like, I'll drive you up there, dude. It's like, please do. Renmelian says, I have a Batman cowl drawn and signed by Bob Kane. He was at the first convention I'd ever gone to. I didn't take anything for him to sign, just walked up and said hello to him. We talked a few minutes, caught him after the crowd, and he started doodling on the spot. He was really sweet. I heard he was good with people, the fans at least. And when I ran the LARP groups, Camarillo, White Wolf in Florida, we did the auction scenario for Cthulhu live at a con. Ooh, neat. I love it. And I have to say, we have an auction that I got it from our local gaming convention, and it speeds up the auction so very greatly. Rather than, okay, who'll give me 5, who'll give me 10, you raise your hand. What we do at this thing is, okay, here's the item, here's the starting bid. Everyone who's interested, raise your hand. And then as the bidding goes up, hands drop, and the last hand up gets the thing. And we can get through about, I think the last one we did in Metropolis to benefit the Massic Theater renovation, we got through almost 300 items in slightly around 3 hours, which is pretty fast. And holy crap, that's right. Sacred excrement. Love you, Sarah. And Renmelian says, I made the props, including a small talisman, used some of my vintage collection, had a geologist offer to buy one off me, thought it was real. That means you did a good job, girl. Way to go. And speaking of good job, I am finally all caught up, and I'm loving that people were off and giving me some comments here and seeing some faces I haven't talked to in a long time. Ren, as always, and Sarah, love you to death. And hope we will get together soon. You have my word. We are going to see to it. So, and anyway, I think it is time I feed Cookie. And we do auctions via Discord with CSTS. Okay. I'm not sure what CSTS. I hope it's not a medical condition that I'm about to insult a demographic with. But anyway, no, I need to get on this. I need to check out Discord probably. But anyway, write myself a note. Like I don't have enough to do today. Anyway, Renmelian, thank you for the stream, sweetheart. Darling, thank you for being here. Much love to you and the fam. Love you, whole bunches. Have a lovely day, everyone. Love you too. And if we can see each other this weekend, I would love that. I know everyone would love to meet you too. And can't stop the serenity. Oh, okay. Thank you. Well, that's a worthwhile thing then. And Renmelian, I'm on the Global Steering Committee. Why am I not surprised? Part of your global domination process here. I understand and I support the new world order. Anyway, Anyway, thank you. Thanks, Renelia. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. Appreciate the hell out of all of you. You could have spent your day off with anyone, but you chose to spend the last couple hours with me, and that does not go unappreciated. And so we're going to run through some thank yous here as usual. We want to thank Plasma Fire Graphics for their ongoing sponsorship of the show. Plasma Fire Graphics did this wonderful book cover. It's called Snow Ambition. It's a quick read crime thriller by me in the world of Abraham Snow, former undercover agent who just can't seem to leave the job behind. Anyway, I wrote this new one. We've got a new one just hitting the boards right now, I believe, but I'm number 4 in line. Please check it out. It's only 99 cents, available now on Amazon. But if you like that cover, and OMG, how could you not? You want to hire Jeffrey Hayes and Plasma Fire Graphics. He's very affordable, and here's the kind of great work he does. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. Whether it's a gorgeous trailer like that for your book or comic book or your business, or whether it is promotional graphics or even the cover of your book or comic, Jeffrey Hayes can put one together for you and it will be gorgeous. We've got him lined up for the Terrors when it comes out later this year. So definitely check him out at Plasma Fire Graphics on Facebook and plasmafiregraphics.com. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, because it matters to your readers. And what else matters? The Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Please check us out on Facebook and give that page a like if you would. Please copy this schedule out, although it's going to be changing soon. We're going to be adding a couple new shows, including The Truth Mongers with Ted Davies and Glenn B. Fleming. That's really exciting. It's going to premiere on Wednesday, July 14th. We'll have more information as the date goes closer. And Monday, the rest of today, you are mercifully free of any sort of engagement, so enjoy this day off for many of you. But tomorrow, starting at 10, Ted Talks Comics and Creativity. Check him out at 10 a.m. Eastern. And then let's see, going through the list, Tuesdays, Clever Tile Pending will be on at 8 p.m. And my guest will be Mike Jimmy Lorsha De Bruin, who is currently kickstarting his ongoing series Life on Korra, number 4. So what is Life on Korra? Why don't you come over and ask him? Why don't you talk to him about what it's like to be a creator and putting a brand new comic book together? He's sure to have something to teach you. So please check us out tomorrow night at 8 p.m. And also don't forget the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS at 6 p.m. Eastern preceding this show. So check us out on Rising Tide Broadcast Network. We've got your entertainment and education lined up for all 7 days of the calendar week. And we also have lined up our Patreon people. We love you, Patreon people. If it wasn't for Patreon, frankly, the show would have a tough time being on the air, and we couldn't do as much as we do without their support. Patreon is a monthly subscription service where you can directly support your favorite creators, many of whom on this list have their own Patreon pages. Please check them out as well. But it's not like you throw money and you don't get anything for it. When you go to www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris, you can see what we will give you in exchange for your direct support. And it's cool stuff. So anyway, that's what we've got going there. And we are ready to wrap this thing up for one more day. We will be back Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central for another Nevermind the Furthermore. Don't forget, we will not be on Friday at our regular time, but we'll try to do a special something later on. And later this week, either Wednesday afternoon or Thursday on Comic Book Spectrum, we will be showing off something we just won, and I am so excited. I think you will be too. It shows that good work does go rewarded. All right. So as always, folks, thank you very much for being here, and we appreciate you. We appreciate your ongoing support. And as always, folks, if you've enjoyed any part of this, if you're watching on Facebook, please give us a like, and also give a like to the page you're watching, so to thank them for their hosting. Also, if you're watching us on YouTube, as most of you are now, I'm glad to say, on YouTube, please, if you haven't already, please give this video a like. It would mean so much. And also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. We've got all kinds of great content coming up, and you don't want to miss a thing. All right, we keep all of our guest appearances on other shows on this channel, as well as our shows Nevermind the Furthermore, Clever Tile Pending, and Comic Book Spectrum. So please check out my YouTube page and subscribe to it, and ring that bell so you're notified of all future appearances. So as always, folks, thank you for being here. Time to feed Cookie and get my work done for the day. Hope you have a great post-July 4th. Hope you had a great weekend, and we'll see you later here on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. And so, folks, as always, stay smart, stay safe, wash your hands, and never apologize for being awesome. Have a great Monday, everyone. Take care. See you Wednesday on Nevermind the Furthermore.
Thank you for watching Nevermind the Furthermore, a Rising Tide Broadcast Network production. If you enjoyed any part of this show, please give it a like or a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and consider becoming one of our Patreon supporters. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Nevermind the Furthermore.
Author Cindy Kep is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Kep at CKOEPP.com today.
Hi, I am Joe D. McPhee. I am the host of From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher, and I want to cordially invite you to watch our show Saturdays at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. On our show, we will have different guests as well as talk about the comic book industry and pop culture. And every so often, I might actually do a drawing session or a 3D rendering session every here and there. So once again, I want to invite you to watch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher right here on the broadcast channel that you're looking at, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Hope to see you there, and make certain that you catch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks.
Now, every Sunday morning, longtime independent comics creator and Indie Volt podcaster Randy Zimmerman hosts a discussion on the lighter side of comics, the more whimsical and fun comics out there, on the Sunday Funnies. That's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday on Indie Volt, indievolt.com, the Indie Volt YouTube channel, and the usual Indie Volt sites on Facebook. Listen in, won't you? Participate in the chat. Let's have some fun. See you there.
This is the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Also catch us on the HWWS Web TV YouTube channel. Subscribe today and become part of the legend.
Stormgate Press presents Pulp Reality 2. 10 new short stories from today's leading authors and illustrators in the new pulp genre. Packed with pirates, private eyes, aliens, automatons, villains, and vigilantes. High adventure, wondrous fantasy, mysterious horror, and startling science fiction await. Pick up a copy and be transported to astonishing places and travel to amazing times in the golden age pulp style. This is Pulp Reality 2. Available now on Amazon.com. From author Brian K. Morris comes an epic tale of armor forged by a god, a hero forged by courage, and an ancient menace poised to re-emerge and threaten our world. Volcana, Rebirth of the Champion, is available on Amazon.com. Get your copy today. Choose high-flying action. Choose death-defying escapes. Choose spine-tingling thrills. Choose nail-biting intrigue. Now's your chance to choose the adventure. The Captain Hawkland Adventures. Available on Amazon.com.